He skillfully ducks into the toilet
Connect
late
to my
at night.
husband's file check video.
Unexpectedly, he just said
And
a
then
few
he
words
hangs
and
up.
his face
Random.
flattened. His black colleague walked in as if nothing had
Because
happened.
I'm not sure if my husband
He
saw
immediately
this scene.
asked his colleagues to
As
send
a
him
result,
back. My husband kept calling
Alice,
halfway through,
who
was afraid of the road. However,
could only
this will
listen
make
to
him
them all.
regret it for
Then
the rest
they went
of his
to the
life.
gas
And
station.
Alice goes into the grocery store
But
and
when
buys
he
a
came to
coffee
the
pick-me-up,
checkout page,
and there was no power on duty. Helpless
Just
him.
leave the money on the table and
But when
prepare
you
to
look
leave.
up, I saw blood spilled on the shelves
He
in front of
realized
me.
that the
He quickened
situation
his
was
pace
not
the
good.
next second. I don't know where the bullet
Hit
came
him in
from.
the arm.
In excruciating pain, he crawled
Then
behind the
another
shelves
bullet
and
landed
hit.
in his
He
head.
screamed and looked
Found a
around. Bullet hole in the glass next
He
to it.
realized that he was
Fall
still
down
in the
at the
sniper
first
range.
time and hide
Then
in the
take
shelf
off your
next to
clothes
it.
and dress the wound
Then
with
call
your
out
coat.
the name of a colleague. Tom Katonia fucks. It turned out that the other party was
Didn't
playing
hear his
music
cry
in the
for
car
help
at
at
all. He had
Phone
no
locked
choice
to the
but
ground.
to look. He propped himself up in his right hand and
Just when he
slowly
was
crawled
about to
towards
catch
the bullet
phone.
strikes again. The killer's shot shattered his hopes, and as he sat there, he didn't know
A
what
man's
to
voice
do. Came through the checkout page. Alice seemed to seize the rescue.
Look around.
And go
Then
to the
I
class
found out that
class.
it was the sound from the walkie-talkie.
But that doesn't cover a meter. But let him flood. To distract the killer, he took 2 packs of potato chips
Then
from the
throw it
shelf.
hard.
Then he tried again and threw a bag. He took the radio. He told them he was being sniped by a killer. As for the staff here, he didn't
begged
see
the
it.
man to call the police
Just
to
as
help
he
him.
was describing what had
Colleagues
happened.
outside also
Obviously,
found
the
anomalies,
car didn't
but the
start.
dashboard indicates that
He
the
lied
fuel
on the
level
ground
is
in
low,
confusion
but found
to
that
check.
the fuel tank had a big
The
hole at some
gasoline
point.
was sizzling
He
out.
hurriedly got out of the car and
She
headed
had
to the
no
general
idea she was in
administration
hell.
of convenience
Alice done.
stores.
Hello. It's time to end. A bullet went through his neck. Alice could only hide behind helplessly.
Watch him bleed.
Then the voice on the walkie-talkie woke
The
him
only
up.
way to survive.
The opportunity is for men
After
to
the
call
other
the party.
police
He
hears
also
that someone
quickly
has
called the
died.
police.
Then express.
The police will arrive at the scene in about 15
To relieve
minutes.
Alice's nervousness.
The man starts chatting with him to divert
When
attention.
receiving the colleague who was just
The man
killed,
suddenly became serious.
he didn't
I've
expect
been talking
it.
to the killer. The other party obviously deliberately
In order to
obeyed
let him live after
despair
hope.
again. He stood up and slowly extended his right hand. The killer has been staring at him. Alice realized
The
that
opponent must lose the sniping environment.
Then he saw the electric switch not
So,
far away.
he
He took the battery and threw it.
Unfortunately,
Then
didn't
he will
hit the
pick up the
first
second
first.
and third batteries were thrown away
Consecutive
respectively.
let him push
the shelf irritably. But I was surprised to find that the shelves
hurriedly
could
got
actually
down
move
and
broke
use
the
it
lock
as a
on the
cover.
wheel.
Little by little towards
the killer
electric
saw this
field
and
activity,
started shooting
but that
like
didn't
crazy.
stop Alice from turning off
As
the movie in the
convenience
end.
stores plunge into
The killer
darkness.
also stopped shooting.
However,
At
Alice
this
also
time,
discovered the power supply
the other
under
party's
the
body
body
has
has
become
apparently
hard
been
and
dead
smelly.
for several hours. Alice was terrified, but suddenly
quickly
thought of
squatted
something.
down and groped
After
on the
searching
clerk.
for a long time,
Alice had to
I
treat
couldn't
the
find
wound
the phone.
first.
He took down a bottle of
Then
glue.
apply it to the bleeding wound.
Press hard to glue the open wound together.
Then another bottle of painkillers.
He ate it without hesitation. After doing all
He
this,
looked around trying to figure out a way to
looking
escape.
at the car keys in the hands
Alice's
of a
heart
colleague.
suddenly
He
struck.
came to the other party and took the
Then
key. He pressed it outside. But the loud noise has alerted the
killer.
other party realized that
So
he wanted to
fired
escape
3
in a
shots
car.
into the hood
Look
to
at the car in
demonstrate
front
to
of
you.
you.
and crying,
It
unable
made me
to
sweat
use.
for Alice.
If they can buy an extra car,
Maybe
in
there
advance.
wouldn't be such a situation.
Alice felt despair when
Just
she
when
saw
he
this.
didn't know what to
A
do.
car suddenly stops at a gas
He
station.
quickly broke the mirror off the
Then
frame.
wrapped the tape around the iron
to
rod.
observe the movement outside.
I saw a man walk into a
shouting the
convenience
clerk's
store.
name. Team battle. Thanks on that tour, Yamachi. Stuff your tanksteader. And he told them
The clerk has been killed by the
even
killer.
myself is injured and trapped
And the
here.
killer.
Most likely it's on the billboard across
After
the
saying
road.
that, let the
But
man
then he
hurry up
suddenly
and call
realized
the
not only
police.
has the killer not been shooting
Even
since
the
the man came
walkie-talkie
in,
is silent.
he pops his head out in horror.
Found that the man had disappeared at
I
some
haven't
point.
waited for
the
him
other
to
party
react yet.
suddenly flipped in from
Then
behind
the
the checkout
unbelievable
page.
alarm power cords.
Alice takes the opportunity to remove
He
a hammer.
slowly retreated with a vigilant look on his face.
Snaba comes in to hear Herdez of Emma.
Hey Billy for decent. And showed up at this place at 3 a.m.
It's so pathetic.
So no matter what the man
Alice
says,
didn't believe him.
unless he takes out his phone.
But the
and
man
calls
said the
police
phone
now.
was left in
Then
the car.
Alice proposed.
He can
distract the killer with a flashlight.
Then the man can safely take the phone
Since
away.
if I looked, they swear down the shore skin on the rebirth
Latin
of that
fancy
Pusey
behind.
sang topped I feel like you to the corner
They
here
mustn't
off.
hear so often.
And they went ahead with the plan.
The man crouched down and cautiously
And
came
he
to the
opens
car.
the door.
I looked at the billboard opposite.
I was about to reach for my phone after finding no movement. Alice hears the gunshot.
Instantly realized
He
what?
turned off his flashlight and slumped
Then
on
he
the floor
suddenly
feebly.
saw the umbrella
A
opposite
daring
him.
thought. It came to his mind. He immediately climbed to the shelf with an umbrella, opened it, and put it in an
Watching the killer
place.
ignore his own toast,
He hurriedly quickened the movements of
all
his
the
hands
aisles with umbrellas,
and it starts to move outward
but
very
then the
quietly.
killer shot at him without warning.
He ran around the corner with a bright
but
gun,
accidentally came to the back door of
now
the
just break
convenience
the
store.
door
He
lock.
can leave here without a sound.
He took the fire extinguisher
Slammed
off
the door
side,
lock,
but until he was exhausted,
the lock is not loose at all.
apparently the only way, or just go out the front door.
Therefore,
He stormed out after resting for half an hour.
The next thing he needs is just to get
Escape
in his
from
colleague's
and
car.
he had no
the
idea.
car's fuel tank has already
When
been
he
tampered
finally
with.
got to the main driver's seat of the car, he dashed all the way back to the
But the
convenience
thigh was
store.
still hit the moment he entered the
Alice
door.
screamed bitterly, crawling towards safety in pain. It didn't take long for him to
Until
gradually
the killer
lose
kept
consciousness.
shouting on the
He just
walkie-talkie.
woke up slowly.
After
waking up, he climbed to
Picked
the
up a
checkout
bottle of
page as soon as
disinfectant
possible and put it on my leg. Immediately after wrapping
It's
the
fixed
gauze
with tape.
he has limited
Obviously
mobility,
can no longer
so
break
he
through
finds
from the
a saw
front.
on the shelf.
Go back to the back door and try to cut the
However,
lock on the top door.
after cutting for a few minutes,
He even cut
not
his own
only did it
hand
get a
because
little
of
edge
slippery
off,
hands.
the successive defeats made him
Pick up the
completely
walkie-talkie,
talky.
yelling at the killer.
Just as the two were passionate about each
Beams
other,
of light suddenly
it
shot
turned
from
out
outside
that
the
someone
house.
came
Alice
here to
sees
refuse.
this.
He hurriedly dragged his body
Then
towards
the
the
old
door.
man suddenly saw
A car
no.
parked in the
The
distance.
strange atmosphere made him
The
subconsciously
result was
walk
unexpected.
over. Saw the beaten body.
Push me up. Let's get the money. Yes, lost. And then you put it inside. The old woman sitting in the car saw her husband
He thought
fall
it was
to
a
the
sudden
ground.
illness of
I
his
didn't
husband,
expect to walk
but it
over
cost him
and
his
he was
life.
about to get up
A
and
bullet
run away.
flew again and killed him on the spot.
The surviving old man crawled towards his
But
wife
the
in
next
grief.
second the killer took his life.
Seeing this scene, Alice couldn't
He rushed
bear it
out
any
of the
longer
convenience
and yelled
store.
at the ad. What do you have a more time to keep,
I don't
savage?
get lost
in edge to get a flash mouth off
However,
inside.
he saw
The
a
next
child in
second,
the car.
Alice hurried back to the convenience
Motioned
store.
the girl to get
but
down
the girl is
quickly.
wrong. I saw my grandmother
She
on
came
the
up to
ground.
her grandmother and
Of
tried
course,
to wake her up.
Such a bold move was also seen by the killer. Then he took the tissue from the shelf.
Write the words go back to the car.
The
on it.
girl doesn't understand what's
But she
going on.
also listened to Alice
That's
and
when
went
the
back
killer
to the
makes
car.
a suggestion. Press all the money. Then he wrote on the paper again, pasted on the glass, and signaled the girl
But
to run
before
down
the girl
road.
walks out of the gas
The dark
station,
road made him timid. The next second, a head was running
the
towards
killer
Alice.
slowly stood up.
Obviously, he's going to take care
Alice
of the
pushed
two
the
himself.
shelves to block the
Then
door.
he took the girl and ran to
and
the
pick
back
up
door.
the saw from the ground.
The killer is getting closer.
This time Alice miraculously sawed through
He
the door.
quickly pulled the girl and hid him.
Due to the power outage of the
The
convenience
shutter
store,
door to the
outside
employees
will not
in a
start at
hurry.
all.
He had the girl hide
Then
under
block
the stairs,
him with a cart.
and he took off the mechanical
In the
parts.
inserted steel
A
pipe.
handy weapon is completed.
The killer also rushed to the
He
convenience
pushed
store
aside
at
the
this
shelf,
time,
calling
blocking the
Alice's
door.
name.
While walking slowly inside,
Alice held her breath and hid on
wait
the other
until
side.
the moment the killer is pointed
He
at
immediately
Alice.
rushed out just in time. While the killer pulls out the gap in
He
the rebar,
picked up the fire
hit the
extinguisher
opponent
from
on
the
the
floor.
head. Unexpectedly, he
And
was shot
pushed him
down by
down.
the
Then he
killer
took
with
out
one
the
hand
knife from his
and
shoulder.
caught Alice like a chicken.
He begged the killer for mercy.
While groping for the strength next
Then
to
he
him,
inserted himself into the killer's arm.
the killer, who felt the pain, subconsciously
But
released
Alice
the
took
pistol.
the opportunity.
Fly over and pick it up. Accompanied by two consecutive
Alice's
gunshots,
figure fell in front of the girl.
Soon the killer entered the warehouse
and found the hidden girl at the top of the stairs.
Just as he was about to take off
Alice
his hood, suddenly bleeds. A sudden blow.
Make the killer instantly lose
Then
combat
he pushed
effectiveness.
the switch on the crane.
Drag the killer under the machine.
Then sit on top of each
trying
other.
to lift the hood to see his
But
face.
then the killer suddenly woke
He
up.
grabbed Alice,
refusing to reveal their
during the two
appearance.
of them pulling.
The crane is also slowly
on the
falling.
killer's head.
Soon the other party's head was crushed by
Alice,
the machine.
who survived the disaster,
Looking at the girl in
collapsed
front of
limply
you,
on the
Alice
ground.
couldn't take it anymore.
Although in the end,
He didn't see the real face
But
of the
the
other
killer
party
either.
at the
I
last
would
moment.
rather die than take off my
I'm
hood.
sure you can also guess the identity of the murderer.